Do you dream to retire before your parents or see minor children under your care retire as millionaires? Then, folks, you are in the right place. Assalamu alaikum and peace be upon you. Welcome to the Muslim Women Invest podcast. I am your host, Dr. Miral Azam Khalil. For the greater part of the past decade, I have invested in the US stock market, US farmland, and real estate, put over 100 families towards creating generational wealth through minor investing. In this podcast, we talk all things money and empower Muslim women to take steps towards financial freedom through busting myths and small, bite sized, actionable steps. So let's begin, starting with the dua of Hazrat Musa alayhi salam, our Prophet Moses. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. بسم الله.
My name is Dr. Miralizum Khalil, and I have been investing in the stock market for the past 10 years and in farmland, gold, real estate, you name it, and I've done it. Today's topic is where to find investing opportunities you can trust. As usual, there's a disclaimer that all information is for educational purposes only, no client relationship is assumed, and no tax advice is given. Neither should be solicited. Let's begin with the istiada. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. And with Hazrat Musa's dua, رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. My intention for this program and for this investment education that I impart is generally rooted in Surat Al-Asr. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that everybody is in loss except for people who advise you to good deeds and advise you to patience. So my prayer is that everything that is good and beneficial reaches your heart, affects you, and anything that is harmful to you, that it doesn't affect you and you do not absorb it. So let's begin. Dangers of taking advice over the internet. There's a client story. I had a client who was in her mid 40s who came to me, and she came to me with, she said she had $20,000 in cash that was passed down to her by an ailing parent who passed away. And she took to the internet like all of us do, YouTube, and she went and made some bad investments based off on investment advice, the free investment advice off on YouTube. And I am not here to tell that everything on YouTube is bad, or you shouldn't take it, but blindly following advice over YouTube, especially financial advice, where the person giving advice does not know of your circumstances. Maybe something worked for them because their risk tolerance was something completely different. You don't know what financial background they come from. They know nothing about you. Is honestly, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This is completely on you. So she took the advice. She lost more than 50% of her money. She was devastated when she came to me, because simply, if she had followed the general advice, which is to invest in index funds that Warren Buffett, who is the titan of investing, suggests all Americans should be doing, she would have been in much better position. But like Warren Buffett again says that nobody wants to get rich slowly, she tried to do she tried to take a shortcut and ended up losing a lot of money. The reason why I mention this is because I get solicited by everyone, mostly not everyone, majority of the people who come into my world are trying to look to make a quick buck. And how they think it's going to happen is I'm going to give them a couple of stocks, and they're just going to follow that advice blindly, and they're going to make a bunch of money. So this is now not how it works. I really highly recommend that you hire a financial professional. You sign a contract with them, so they are obligated to look at the whole picture, look at your financial situation, understand your financial goals, and then and only then is when they are going to present to you a financial solution. They should know if you have elders in the family that you need to take care of. You, if you have student debt, if you are paying off a mortgage, if you want to go to a on a fancy vacation, if you're planning for a wedding, if you are planning for your children's college education, if you are planning uh, to to buy something expensive, if you are planning to buy a piece of land, all these things need to be in consideration. And what is your end goal with your money? All these things need to be in consideration um, before somebody can give you an answer. And also, when I work with clients, I'm always looking at their risk profile. I ask them explicitly in a questionnaire that I send them even before um, you sign a contract. I send them a questionnaire once they pay, and I ask them what is their risk tolerance. That gives me a general understanding of which path am I going down. And so with her, we ended up investing a lot of her money in index funds, and I ended up automating her investments. And Alhamdulillah, she has recovered most of what was lost because of the compounding effect of the stock market. But having said that, she could have really made use of that money had she just spent a couple $100 on a financial consultation instead of spending thousands over so-called free advice that did not work in her favor. So guys, um, this is my 2 cents, and I'm gonna share with you an SEC article that you can look up. Recently, the SEC, which is um, um, so the SEC is the body that overlooks or regulates the stock market, and they find social media influencers um, for a fraud of close to $100 million. I mean, this is not a penny and change for stock manipulation. What they essentially did was they asked people to invest in a fund. They had probably a lot of following, and because people were investing and taking their free advice, the stock price used to go up. They used to sell it, and they raked in a lot of profit. And this is called artificial manipulation of the market. And this is why giving free this is why typically for me and my business model, I do not give out ticker numbers to invest in until and unless I know the person, I worked with them, and I am you know I understand their financial situation. And so this is an article. I can send it to you guys, and you guys can pretty much read it and just be aware of what is happening around you, because not a lot of people have a lot of money to be conned. And I just feel so bad, because I know this is human nature to be hasty and trying to make a quick buck, but please do your homework and see what is appropriate for your situation. Moving on, where to find investment opportunities you can trust. The first thing I want to tell you is that all financial advisors are not fiduciary. If you're not a fiduciary financial advisors, especially if you work for commissions or kickbacks, you can simply these people can sell you stuff or sell you securities or give you financial advice that is going to promote stocks or tickers or businesses that they take a commission from or they're affiliate of. So please look for a fiduciary financial advisor. Also look for people who charge a one-time fee, just like myself. I charge a one-time fee because that obligates me to work in your favor. I also have a legal binding contract, which makes me work in your favor. I do not work on commissions, which makes me work in your favor because I see your holistic picture. I have nothing to gain from telling you buy this and buy that. Everything to me is equal. I am not a financial partner or an affiliate for any big brand or company or any kind of security or any kind of investment firm. All opportunities are not created equal. you need to look at your risk tolerance. A lot of people have very low risk tolerance, especially coming into the finance world, coming into investing. You need to be mindful of what is your risk tolerance. Do you have a lot of risk tolerance? Do you have an emergency fund? Do you have a lot of people depending on you? You need to consider, you need to tell me this is my risk tolerance, because some of the investments are more aggressive. They can um, there can be a temporary loss, and then it can gain, just like the S&P 500. You need to put in money there and forget about it, because the market does not rise every single year. It also crashes. And if you're the kind of a person who cannot tolerate any kind of risk, then you should move probably into gold, or there are many avenues. It really depends on the client, their situation, their number of dependents, if they have somebody who is chronically ill, if they're paying a mortgage, if they have kids, if they have a car bill. There are so many situations, if they have to send money back home. So everybody is nuanced, and you need to consider yourself and be respect yourself enough to think that I have a unique situation, and I would benefit from a consultation. I would benefit from some consulting one time at least. Um, so the venture capital is mainly for accredited investors. I mention this because, excuse me, not venture capital. Most investment opportunities are only for accredited investors, which means you make more than 200,000, or I think 250,000, something of the sort. I'll get back to you. But they're for accredited investors, and so they're not accessible to you, to the common person. And the only answer, honestly, I thought, I was so frustrated because I couldn't find these opportunities. I didn't know who to trust. And so I had to find women who were investors and who were ahead of me. And so I curated, I upgraded my clique. I started to hang out more with people who were ahead of me. The Prophet ﷺ said, a man follows the religion of his friends, so each one should consider whom he takes as his friends. I personally believe that your friends not only determine your religion or and your hereafter, they are also going to determine your life. Birds of a feather flock together. They're going to determine your wealth. Rich people get richer because they're constantly surrounded by opportunities unavailable to everyone else. They're also surrounded by people who think um, bigger. And so if you're not surrounded by people who are creatives, or they're thinking bigger, or they're constantly putting you down, or they think you are too much, or you need to change your group. And so how do you find these groups? You have to cultivate the right relationships. These relationships will pay you manyfold. So you have to be uh, in a serving mindset. So when you develop a relationship with somebody, you don't go in just thinking that I want something from them. Genuinely get to know the person, get to know their likes and dislikes, get to know how you can mutually benefit each other, be available as a friend, be a good friend. And these leads, and these being introduced and cultivating these relationships led me to investing in even startup businesses like Fuchsia Shoes and Little Libros publishing companies. Both of them are doing really well. Both of them are owned by minority women. One of is owned by a Latina, and one of them is owned by a two Pakistani startup two Pakistani immigrants, and their shoes, and the other one is a publishing company. So they publish diverse children's books. Both of the things that I'm really passionate about. So not only did I invest in an opportunity that was just available, it was not available to everyone. And a lot of people don't hear about this because your friend circle is not invested or interested in upgrading their lifestyle, or they do not have the financial literacy that is required to understand that there's a lot of opportunity and we can avail them. So guys, cultivate the right relationships. Your friends and your partners, like I mentioned before, will determine your financial trajectory. So be careful, upgrade your relationships. My process is simple. I do the hard lifting for you and cultivate relationships so that you get vetted investment opportunities in which I am personally investing. So when I work with somebody for 3 months after our one-off consultation ends, I monthly I send them financial and investment opportunities that I have personally invested in. So I am sending you stuff that I am a part of. I believe in the project, and then you always have a choice. You know, you got an opportunity that you would not have gotten otherwise, and that is just a perk of working with me. I love that you guys come to me, and this is an absolute honor. And I just love to, share with my existing clients that I have a relationship with, that I understand their risk tolerance and I understand their financial situation. I love telling them 3 months after I give them opportunities, and there are several kinds of opportunities, investments of higher, dollar mark and a lower dollar mark and a medium dollar mark. So you can see if it's aligned with you. You know, a lot of my clients love the fact that even after my one-off investment, one-off client consultation, I honor every single client, and I send these investing opportunities their way. And it's really beneficial to you because I have created these relationships. I am nurturing these relationships, and you get to benefit this from me. I do all the hard work, and you guys get the benefit. And if you have any questions or concerns, please write to me, connect with me, give me feedback, let me know what you want to learn. My email address is investforlifemk@gmail.com. Again, the email address is investforlifemk@gmail.com. We have our membership coming up. It's a one of a kind thing that I'm doing. It's going to be a year-long membership. I'm super excited about it. The details are coming out really soon. If you guys are interested, again, write to me, see if you're a good fit. Um, I practically hold your hand for a complete year. You have access to me twice a month. I tell you about all the investment opportunities that I am investing in. I show you my process of day trading. I give you a list of tickers, which is the most valuable. And I daily, we have a Facebook group in which I daily update what am I doing, which news are we supposed to follow. So if you're really interested in investment and growing wealth for your family, and having a financially free future, or retiring with dignity, or buying that bag that you've been eyeing, or that shoe, or going on a vacation, supporting your parents, paying off your student debt, or your mortgage, you are a great fit for that course. So stay tuned. Until we talk later, guys. Bye.
I hope you enjoyed the show. Let's end our podcast with a very powerful surah from the Quran. A surah is a chapter of the Quran, and this surah is Surat Al Asr. I started my investing journey and began teaching investing because of this surah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that only people who guide people to the right way, to the truth, and to patience are the ones who are going to be successful. Let's end on this beautiful surah, and I will see you later. Bye from for now, guys.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. صدق الله